Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Kiri here, and in this video we're going to be talking about what you can do if your hair is thinning or you have lost your hair. You want to make sure that you've got a good healthy diet. I was reading a study the other day which showed a lot of us are magnesium and potassium deficient, and this is because we have a lot of caffeine in our diets, and caffeine is known to leach the magnesium out of our bodies, as well as there's a lot of processed foods out there, so people are eating more processed foods. That's also not good for our bodies. In a typical grind culture, we drink a lot of caffeine, we don't get enough sleep, we're eating a lot of processed foods, and this has an effect on our body. I personally notice this a lot. By drinking a lot of caffeine and not drinking enough water, you know, this would cause a lot of dehydration in my body, and I'd get a very dry beard, I'd get a lot of dryness in my scalp. So by cutting caffeine and drinking more water, this would hydrate me more. Making sure that you get your vitamins in is really important as well, guys. So some of the supplements that I take a multivitamin, and then I top myself up with an omega-3, vitamin D and magnesium. So I'd say some of the key things is keep your diet healthy, keep it clean, make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. Ideally, cut down caffeine if you can, drink plenty of water, and make sure you're taking the right vitamins. So I'd say these things will definitely help in making sure that your hair and nails are strong. Now, the next thing we're going to be talking about is how often to shampoo your hair and what products to be using. Now, when it comes to shampooing your hair, 2 to 3 times a week is enough. You don't want to be shampooing your hair all the time, otherwise you're going to strip a lot of the natural oils out of your scalp. So ideally, shampooing less will be better for you. Now, when it comes to using shampoos and conditioners, ideally you want to avoid using parabens and sulfates. These are really damaging for your hair and scalp. Now, a lot of products nowadays don't contain parabens. However, if you're buying products that are mass produced, it's likely that they will still have parabens in them. But you want to go a step further. You also want to avoid sulfates. Sulfates are really damaging for the scalp because this strips the natural oils from your scalp. So you want to avoid using shampoos that contain parabens and sulfates, guys. They might cost you a little bit more, but they are worth it. When it comes to styling your hair, now for you guys that are using straighteners and hair dryers, you just want to make sure that you are not overdoing it, especially with the straighteners. And when it comes to hair dryers, you don't want to be too close to the hair, otherwise you will burn your hair, you'll burn your scalp, and this will damage your hair, especially if your hair is already thinning. You want to avoid that. So you want to make sure that you're at good distance away from your hair. And when it comes to styling products, ideally I'd recommend staying away from lacquers and hairsprays. They are quite bad for the hair. They're very damaging and they really dry out the hair, especially if they touch the scalp. A few main products that I like to use texturizing powder, I like to use salt spray, I like to use molding paste and matte clays. Now, depending on the style and the look I'm going for, at the moment I'm going for the natural curls, as you can see. So I'm using a salt spray, which is really good for getting them natural curls, just to enhance them curls. Ideally, when it comes to products, guys, you want to use products that wash out easy. If the product washes out just with water, then it's usually a good indicator that it's a good product and it's not going to stay in your hair. If you're having to use a lot of shampoos and conditioners to get the product out, then ideally I would steer away from it. Now let's talk about some natural topical treatments that you can do to help stimulate hair growth. Now there's peppermint oil, there's rosemary oil, and there's coconut oil. And what you want to do is you just want to apply a small amount to your hair and you want to massage that into the scalp. And these are known to help stimulate hair growth. Now, not for everyone, you just have to try it yourself and see if it works for you. I usually recommend going with the natural methods first, see if they work for you. If they don't work for you, then you can move on to some other treatments that are a bit stronger. You have minoxidil, which is known to help prevent hair from thinning, as well as helping stimulate hair growth. And you also have finasteride, which works by blocking DHT, and this is a hormone linked to thinning hair. So you've also got that. But what I'd recommend with using these types of products, guys, is make sure that you test a small area first, make sure that you don't have any reactions, and make sure you check just to make sure you don't have any allergies before using these types of products. Now, if none of these are working for you, there are also some other treatments. You've got PRP and you've got laser therapy. Personally, I don't actually know many people that have had PRP or laser therapy, but I do know people that have had hair transplants, and that is the other thing. Hair transplants, I know a lot of people that have had hair transplants. I've seen very good ones, I've seen very bad ones. The majority of them nowadays are very good. They usually take from the back or the side of your hair. So this tends to be a very thick part of our hair. So they'll tend to take from the back of the hair or the side of the hair, and then they will plant that into the top of the hair, the areas where you want to thicken up. Now, the two main places that most people tend to lose their hair is the front where they recede and also the back crown area. And just so you know, guys, just to give you some statistics, this is very, very common. Over 50% of men lose their hair. It happens to most men. So don't worry. The most important thing, guys, is to stay fit, stay in shape. This is what matters. You know, these are the most important things. Stay fit, stay healthy. And of course, you know, we don't want to lose our hair. It's important. It's tied to our youth. But there are treatments you can do, and a hair transplant is definitely something I've seen great results. I've seen people really get great results with hair transplants. Some transplants you don't have to shave your hair off, and some you do. I know people that haven't had to shave their hair off, and I know some people that have. It really just depends on the surgeon and where you go, but just make sure that you find the right surgeon that is going to be good for you. Now, it does take time. Now, whether you have to shave your hair off or not, it does take time for the results to come through. So you won't just go and get a hair transplant and you've got a full head of hair. It does take about 6 to 12 months for it to fully come through, but the results are amazing. I've seen some great results. And guys, if I come across anyone that I think is really good, I'll definitely link it below for you. For you guys that are quite young, especially the guys that are in their mid-20s, you might be losing your hair and you might be thinking, what can I do? To be honest with you, I would try all the natural methods first. I would try every single natural method first. Then I would maybe try the topical treatments and see if they work. You should be able to get some good results with them. You can also try the stronger treatments if they're not working, like minoxidil and finasteride. And if they're not working, then you can consider getting a hair transplant. But to be honest with you, I would try and delay that process as much as possible. Now, what types of hairstyles can you do if your hair is thinning a lot? Now, there's two types of main hairstyles that you can really do. And you've got the buzz cut. You can literally just shave your hair off. You can buzz it all off, and that will make your hair look fuller. By shaving all your hair off, especially if it's thinning out a lot, that will make your hair fuller. What a lot of people tend to do when they buzz their hair off, they get something which is called like hair tattooing, where they tattoo almost like their hair onto their scalp. And I actually know people that have a hair tattoo on their scalp, and it looks really good. You can't actually tell the difference. It just looks like they shave all their hair off. So that is a potential option for those of you that maybe want to get a hair tattoo. But otherwise, just buzzing it off, this works well. Very popular look, looks great. Low maintenance as well. For you guys that don't want to shave your hair off, another really good option is the short, choppy, textured look. And what I'd say is this definitely makes your hair look a lot more fuller. And if you're going to use products, just make sure that your hair is completely dry when you style it, and use a texturizing powder. Texturizing powder just helps create more volume in the hair, and this tends to give the look of much more volume and texture in your hair. So this also works really well. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it useful. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. I've also left a link below to our Men's Grooming Hub community, where you can get direct access to me and you can ask me any of your grooming related questions. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.